I'm just going to get right into it. First, ones who want to force onto everyone. Okay. Now, Spirit is going to force onto you to let you know what it's like. Just saying. That's what I got. And also, everything's going to stop. This is for, everyone, and ones who are actually doing and continuing to do. Especially, how is it that ones who are innocent go to jail, their bonds, bails, whatever, how you would say it, is skyrocket, whatever, and they have to sit and wait. But ones who actually you have everything and you set the bonds, bails, whatever, and doesn't matter what it is, fraud, murder, whatever. How is it that they are allowed to get out because they paid, but you have so much trust and faith that they're not going to flee and show up for their court date? Okay. How's this backwards? Okay, let's get into it. Whatever time, morning, sun shines, shine like who you are supposed to be. Ones want to bring effery to you, then you show them what effery is. You keep on shining because you're the sunshine, and it breaks them down even more. So, speaking of what I just said, one of them, this father, I guess I can give the name. It's out there and it's been proven. His name is Stephen. I don't know, Chavez. That sounds right? Yeah. Anyway, he raped his 4-year-old. Gave her something to drink, and something else, whatever. Her name is Michaela. Court date is coming up. Now, this poor girl, her uncle found her, took her to the hospital, was all over, everywhere. And police, the hospital has DNA all over her. His DNA. How is it that he was let go? Apparently a $500,000 bond. And he's continuing to do his, I guess, he owns a company, electrical company. How is that? The other thing is, that's getting out of hand. And I don't know where it was, but it was at a hotel. How is it that this person went up just to get a cup of coffee? All of a sudden, he didn't feel good. They had samples of the pot that it came out of. They have where in the back they were making it. Apparently, wherever they're getting this coffee, it's being smuggled in, the beans. And guess what they found in his system? Fentanyl, among other things. So, all these, the foods and etc., medical, all these companies, vaccines, or no, sorry, whatever you're calling it, changing it to now, naming it. This way you can trick people. This is mainly for you and ones who are doing rituals, and more. All that stuff. So, before I get into it, also, please check now, other than other things, happening at, the main stores, but it's happening everywhere. Target and Walmart and at the gas stations and stuff like that. Well, something new. Now, you get the gas, okay? You don't even press the pump. Watch it run and watch your card gets charged. That's the new thing. I mean, it's been happening, but no one actually realized it. What's up with that now? Well, Spirit, like I said, no more with none of this BS. Now, this is another thing. We're all trying to stop bullying. Now, this is for a fact that, once who got bullied, through high school, I got bullied, but, I don't go and teach and I don't go and do bullying. All that needs to stop. And I said it plenty of times in recent videos. This person, young, don't know any better. But anyway, she probably had, a silver spoon or golden spoon, whatever. She doesn't have kids either. Not that I know of. Her name is Olivia. She's a, I don't know, influencer, whatever. She put up there, I don't know, a video came across her. This poor kid was so happy. He did a video about it. It's called Safari Kid. It was so cute, that video that he did. And the joy that came out of him. He won. And he was able to collect as much, whatever. Just look it up. But anyway, this Olivia criticized and bullied. She said bullying should come back. And if her kids ever said that they were gay, she would bully them. She also said, soon grandmothers and the whole generation of them who can't knit, bake cakes, but will be all tattooed with fake lips and plastic, you know, whatever. And let's not forget that she criticized, the pride, whatever thing that was going on. Well, they thought that they would, help support. They did all kinds of little pictures. It was just pictures, different colors. You know, she criticized that. She said that parents shouldn't have that. They should find out what their children's problem is to make them straight. Now that's effery. And she's a bully. So, if anyone ever came across her, watch out for your children. Do not let her get near your children because she will bully them or teach them. Don't make her as a godparent or an aunt, whatever. Be careful. That's what I say. Who the F? Who does she think she is? It doesn't matter what religion, what nationality, what race, whatever, how you would say it. It doesn't matter if you're straight, gay. They're the only ones that I know, okay? I can't keep up with all these names that people call themselves. Straight, whatever. I'm not going to even try to say all the ones because I don't want to mess it up and then have everybody come after me. I have nothing against any of that. But this woman has no right telling people. Some are born that way. Because if you didn't notice, ma'am, and that, ma'am, is what I thought it was. Not as, as being respectful and all that. You see, as I was growing up, a ma'am was, one of those, I forget what they're called, speakeasies, where the ma'am was the boss of putting out their hookers. That's what I was told. But then I found out what really it is. Okay? And I hope you never have kids. And I'm sorry to say that. I am not like that. But you know what? I'm not gay, whatever it is. Because, one, I have a person who is a man, okay? I will be friends with whoever, and I have a lot of friends who are. And I will support them. And if anyone bullies them or whatever, and I hear it, I will speak up. And I don't want to hear, that I'm gay because I spoke up. That is a bunch of bull. Because why? They're the same person before you found out that they were. And being single parent, they're allowed to have children and or whatever. Doesn't matter if they're gay or not. But don't assume and put out there. Because, yeah, that's what was put out with me. And it's still. So all those ones thinking that women trying to love bomb me, sending things, pretending that you're a man of who you think my person is, don't work. I know the difference. I grew up with a lot of around a lot of men. So I know how they are. I know what bothers them, how they think, how they whatever. And I watched all women, all. And I know how some act, how they think, whatever. I'm not going to get into that. But this woman, and don't bash her, whatever, because I think that's what she wants. That's what she wants. She wants recognition and the hype and all that. Do not. It's not. Don't worry. Spirit will get her one way or another. You never. Anybody comes up on here or whatever, you never go and bash somebody. But anyway, now let's get into the medical and etc. Now I've been saying this, you have to, when you go to hospitals and whatever, blah blah blah, watch what you sign and go to a lawyer who knows about it and get a what is that, the notified or whatever paper saying that you do not want vaccines or whatever, especially if you get it, because you sign a piece of paper where and check it, or where it says biologics or biogenics. See, they changed the name. It's not called vaccines anymore. Okay? And they don't say medications, injections, etc. You could go in for a routine, whatever it is. Say also you need to go under, for something. You wake up and you'll find out everything that you did not consent to because you signed that paper where it says the biologic and all that. They are also putting stuff into our pets, vaccines, and etc. And our children's. To give out the viruses, bring, as many people, as people are saying about the COVID. I'm not the only one. I was told to bring all this up to make people aware and check it out. Because, when I do, I know about all this too. I know what's going on where I can't check out things unless, I have to go somewhere else. I can, but not all the time. But anyway, I'm bringing it up to make people aware. See, COVID was just to see if people will listen to rules. Most didn't, really. But, you know, to see if they'll stay in and, all kinds of stuff. So, guess what? They're bringing back something else to have a lockdown just like that. And we need to stop it. You see, they want us to pay more in vet bills, doctor bills, and let's not forget our other bills, with food and everything. So, this is how it's going to go. Someone is working with medical and etc. who are putting in everything I said to have pets, sick, children, and us. We shouldn't have animals, that's what they're saying. We shouldn't have animals as pets. And our children are getting all kinds of stuff when they're born and developing what? All kinds of stuff now, like autism or whatever else that our ancestors didn't have. Animals, they're also, to pay out for surgeries and etc. They're doing all that to see if you will pay. So, it is being looked at, and how about as the law that was passed being cruel to animals, and they're being, having jail time or prison for all these ones who are doing it to, our foods and vaccines and etc. So, are you going to arrest all these people? Especially, they keep changing names to trick people, that isn't in the field. And, not to bring up my situation, it's one thing not to let me know, okay, about these ones. Either did they get caught or they didn't. That's one thing. Not to let me know. I mean, I'm going to find out anyway. But still, not one. But that's okay. You see, this is the world. And still, nothing is being done. It's called, say, let's take the medical. All medical. Okay? All medical. Get everyone. I'm speaking to the authorities now, or whoever catches. I don't care what authority, type of authority you are. To stop all this. You get everyone, and I mean everyone, that is not involved. And you'll know if they are involved or not. Get them to say who all these ones are to put a stop to them. And same thing with every worker in all these companies, warehouses and etc. Use lie detectors. Doesn't matter. Whatever to get the truth. Get all these ones who are putting whatever in everything. Spirit says they are bringing these ones right in front of you to say these are the ones. So do something. You split it. You take all the workers or whatever. People are getting hurt. Going to hospitals. This is how they're letting you know. Spirit. These ones are getting their karma now. But they're getting more and more people to do their dirty work. And these ones who are doing the dirty work think that they're going to have their back. But look at them now. Spirit is making everyone know who these people are. They just need to be, people need to start speaking up and have them caught. This way, Spirit can finish what is being returned to them. See, ones are getting hurt. They're going to hospitals. They're getting into any type of accidents. To let everyone know, to let everyone, these are the ones who are putting stuff in, whatever, ones who are doing rituals, and etc. Everyone else that's not involved needs to start telling the truth. Who are all these people? To stop them and put them in prison or jail. Whatever, which one. Oh, God will let you know. It depends on how how they're letting you know how bad. So let me know. It say, how is all this helping the world if everyone just sits back and don't do anything? So Spirit is telling me, you now, I guess you need ideas on how. You have to start collecting and speaking to everyone in wherever it is, every company, because people are being set up there to go after whoever they're trying to go after. And it doesn't matter, because all companies, all grocery stores, every store, every whatever is going up, and no one is being able to pay or be with their families or whatever. So what? By doing, all that, you think, by sitting back and whatever, that you won't get involved with eating or drinking or getting medical, you know, without anything in it, you think by not speaking out that, you know, you've been good so far, whatever, let others speak up. You see, that's what these ones who are doing all this stuff, and it doesn't matter. Everything that I mentioned, people trying to, they're knocking on your window. Oh, the new thing is now, or whatever, especially with women. Oh, your car is sounding weird. Flip up your red hood. I'll check your oil and whatever. Well, that's when you call the police and, whatever. And do what you have to do. Go find, as I said in the other, you get out of there. And they will follow you because next to you, there's men waiting. But, I mean, that nothing's going to happen. Okay. Well, it keeps continuing, and you will eventually that, get it, because they keep changing names. This way, people don't know what anything is, with the medical field or whatever. And in it, that, people don't know what the terms are. Like I said, especially if you're not in it. And by the time, someone actually says something, it's already out, you know, out of hand. People's lives, animals' lives, they're already gone or harmed. So, authorities take each group, whatever. As I mentioned, we have, doesn't matter what authority, we need to put our foots down. Foots, oh my God. Our feet down. It's not only in uh, all kinds of fields, it's also in with your field. Somebody is working there. And I don't know how many times did I say I put out all these reports and not one has it. It's there, but thing is where? But my team did give out. Somebody has it. And not one came to me. Or my team. Not one. All the good ones, in the fields. Doesn't matter. You just need to speak up. And this is for anybody. If you know something, why wait until it gets out of hand? By that time, somebody could, get hurt bad or whatever. And, you know, if you don't like a person, keep on moving. I mean, what could I say? People need to, learn on their own to heal themselves until certain point, and then they would need help. Now, you had all have plenty of chances. Why would you ruin somebody, where doesn't matter if you don't like the person or not, if you like what they say or whatever, keep your mouth shut. Don't go behind people's back and do stuff. And with religion, as long as, you believe in God and Jesus, your angels, well, you know what I mean, um, guides, or, all of the light. Your loved ones are up there, believe it or not. Doesn't matter what religion. So why is it that people, are now saying, oh, let's change, spring break, but make it only for a couple days. And let's not have them go home for Easter or have Easter only one day, but you need to go back the next day. You know, why? Because it's to do with faith, God, Jesus, that you don't celebrate. So let's don't let me others not to celebrate. It's not only, that we're celebrating, you know, religion or Jesus coming back, et cetera, et cetera. It's also everyone coming together, you know, making memories, seeing each other, being with your children or, young or older, doing Easter egg hunts, having dinner, and much more. Catching up with everyone, especially with the ones who, I heard so many saying, oh, my kids can't come home because of this, whatever. Or your work, they're working. You know, people try to, be with their children, their family. But with everything going on, there's no time to do all that. Now, not even on holidays or occasionally, Sundays or whatever day. Whoever came up with all this and spreading, oh, this should be done, or spreading lies and came up with all this, you have no right. How people celebrate their religion or whatever, how you say it. Do you get to celebrate? Of course you do. because you make sure others don't get to celebrate with nothing, right? Okay. Okay. Now let's get to, spreading lies about certain breeds you know, of animals. It better stop because it's truly sad also that vets say, oh, really, it's going to be expensive to save them, with surgery. It's a waste of time because of it being that breed. Or they just turn them away. You see, ones who say too expensive, yeah, because deep down, effing well, they will save them. So that's why you triple everything. You know, this way they'll pay. Some lies, you know, and you go in, but you really don't save them, right? Oh, I could have saved them. I mean, I couldn't save them. Oh, I am so sorry. But you took their, what, quadruple or whatever amount. Okay. Well, everyone who continues, whether or not you're a medical person or whatever, that harms animals, humans, children, etc., whatever, spirit is coming for every one of you. This way, the true, compassionate, and etc. stays and does what they're supposed to be doing and being done. I said not to mess with spirit, but hey, that's your problem, not mine. Now, as the title, who I am. See, first I want to speak about my dad, and I told you, but my dad, who I take after the most, was like Fred Astaire and Gene Kelly. Well, that's what I thought as a kid when they were dancing, him and my mom. But others, they used to say, here comes Martha and George Washington. But anyway, my dad was strict, controlling sometimes, and I should say most. He loved to play cards, at home or anywhere we would go, at families' homes. All the men sat at the table and played. He also taught us pool. Him and his friend guy friends would go fishing until I was 6. I was determined. I wanted to go. And I said about that in my other videos in the beginning. He worked a lot. And when vacations came, yeah, it was always a certain time, was almost for a month. But he took all of us and some family members, which came out to 10 to 14 of us. When anyone cheated, abused anybody, as in, hit, my dad and some others went. And as kids, and saw, right there, I knew you don't get on his bad side. And why everyone was afraid of him. I mean, something really bad happened. He could also flip over a dining room table with others around the table. He didn't hit anybody when he did it, but he did that. And everywhere, us kids went, we had ones around us. My dad has passed, but he's still around. And ones were afraid of him here. Okay. He's more scarier now. And I take after him. I knew my dad didn't take the crocodile tears, but he still gave some mercy. And he gave chances. But that's not what I take after him on. I don't. I know what crocodile tears. I know that. I saw it many times. And I don't give chances. And it don't matter where it is for whoever to think that I would. Thinking that I wouldn't do it. You see, in my other videos, in the beginning, I did mention it. I mentioned a few that one was in court, and I didn't know the judge was there because my back was towards them. And others, same thing. And, you know, another, different times, but 3 police officers had to get me off of them. And the one in the courtroom, we were sitting there waiting for our turn. And they knew that the judge was behind me. And so was the bail. And we were told to leave until our time. But you see, the ones that started didn't think that the bailiff wouldn't do anything and that the judge wasn't looking. We might have not been in the room, but the judge knew everything what was going on. They came after me. So who do you think won? Anyway, there's other stuff, things. When I say, to me, it doesn't matter. When I know I'm right, I will do something for self-defense and to put people in their place. You see, for those ones who, heard and me saying, you messed with the wrong one. New ones. Heard. And you better listen. Also. And stay clear away from us. You want to learn? Get inspired? Whatever. Then you come respectfully to listen, to my channel or whatever. And you respect my collective or whoever, listens to the channel or writes something. You help each other. That's my channel. You don't bully. You don't make up lies. I'm here to say what I'm told or whatever. Just to chit chat. I'm here to help others. Who it's for. Not for the ones who, think it's for them, but it's not. Or, who wants to make it fit. You need to stop doing that because whatever, comes out, say what I'm saying. Who is putting fentanyl in stuff? Who's putting poison and, in vaccines and et cetera, et cetera. If you're not doing it, but you think I'm speaking about you, you do know that, more you think it and more you talk about it, saying, oh, no, it's not me, you're going to get caught up in something that you have no idea that you just put yourself in. There are certain clues, yeah, it might be for you, but not the whole entire message. And that's not only with mine, it's with everybody's. See? Confirmation. Now, hold up. But as I said, you come to us respectfully. The rope just got tightened. No more BS, bullying, abuse, and much more. You don't stay in your own lane, in your own business, and stay out of others, mine, families, then I will get in yours that you don't want. We're here to make it better and help others. We speak up when ones do to harm people. We are here to protect each other. Hold up. We are here to protect each other. As I said in the beginning, we will get the right ones and the good ones to catch all who are doing, as in harming and much more. We work together. As it's across the board, we are sunshine and we will keep spreading it. And more we do, more our enemies will break. Now, as I said in the beginning, accidents are happening, and more to ones who do rituals, raping, harming, and much more. So look into and get authorities to look into everything and speak up. Because I'm going to say, we don't stick together, we don't stop all this. Because all the ones who are doing things are trying to ruin it for the ones in their own field and make it worse for them. And who is everybody believing? You're believing the liars. Everyone isn't the same. Now, all the good ones know who the bad ones are. No. It's done. Start collecting all. I don't care what you do. Make an extension to all these prisons or whatever. And keep ones away from, ones who, well, whatever. You figure it out. I mean, I can't, unless God tells me. But, I can't tell you what to do. Except everyone, all authorities, I don't care what type you are, all the good ones, take the medical, everyone out, one by one, whatever. You ask them. And, you know who's lying and who isn't. You take whatever that machine is, whatever that is true, and, catch them. And make sure nobody leaves. Because this is ridiculous. All the innocent ones, can't get the money for bond or bail or whatever, blah, 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 whatever. But all the ones that, people, say they trust, they won't flee. They get to keep their passports and, get access to any kind of rides and all that. Well, whoever's hiding people, who isn't speaking up, and etc., they should be punished too. Because they're allowing it. thinking, oh wow, I'm believing these liars. Oh, I'm not going to get contaminated food. Oh, I'm not going to get contaminated vaccines. Oh, wait, whatever name they're naming it now. Well, as I said in the beginning,